In this video, we're going to be talking about dividing polynomials by monomials, so meaning many terms by one term. Now, if we're dividing by one term, so we can identify if it's one term because there are no pluses and minuses dividing multiple terms, right? So this is a term plus another term minus another term. In the denominator, there's only one term. It's a coefficient times a variable raised to a power, one term. When we have division of one term, we can break it up into each piece. So meaning negative 28b to the 13th is divided by negative 7b to the 5th, plus 49b to the 8th is being divided by negative 7b to the 5th. Everything in the numerator is being divided by that negative 7b to the 5th. And then minus 63b to the 5th divided by negative 7b to the 5th. You have to make sure you divide every single term in the numerator by that one term in the denominator. And then the result is what that equals. So a negative 28 divided by a negative 7 is positive 4. B to the 13th divided by b to the 5th, we know we just have to subtract. 13 minus 5 is 8. So b to the 8th. A negative 49b to the 8th divided by negative negative 7b to the 5th. So 49 divided by negative 7 will end up negative 7. B to the 8th divided by b to the 5th, again we subtract. 8 minus 5 will be 3. B to the 3rd power. A negative 73 divided by negative 7 will be positive 9. And then b to the 5th divided by b to the 5th is 1. So we just have that 9 left. And that's as far as we can go. There's no like terms or anything else that we can do. Go ahead and try the problem on the right. On the right, we have 9a cubed times b cubed minus 6 times a squared b squared plus a squared b minus 4a, all divided by a squared b. Again, we could rewrite this with every single term in the numerator being divided by a squared b. So I'm just expanding this out, showing every single term has to be divided by a squared b. Okay. So, looking at this, the a squared b in the denominator does not have a coefficient. It's 1. And anything divided by 1 is itself. So 9 divided by 1 is 9. Now we divide the variables. A cubed divided by a squared, we subtract 3 minus 2 is 1. We have a to the 1st power, or just a. B cubed divided by b. So this is b to the 1st power. So 3 minus 1 is 2. We're left with b squared. Minus 6 divided by 1 is 6. And then a squared divided by a squared is 1. B squared divided by b, which is like b to the 1st power. 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have 1b, or b to the 1st power. Plus a squared b divided by a squared b. Well, anything divided by itself is just 1. And then minus 4 divided by 1 is 4. And now we have a squared in the denominator. So a divided by a squared, where a squared is in the denominator. So we have more things in the denominator than we do the numerator. So actually I'm going to take a moment to rewrite this. So that 4 is in the numerator. But when 1a divides out, right, so this is still a to the first power, 2 minus 1 is 1, but that 1a is left in the denominator. I have more a's in the denominator than I do in the numerator. So there's a to the first power in the denominator, and no b's divide out, so that b is still in the denominator. And now this is as far as we can go. So to sum it up, when we divide a polynomial by a monomial, we have to divide every single term in the numerator by that monomial in the denominator.